Welcome to Mupdates, your monthly Medfield updates. I'm Audrey Ensor, and this episode is all about June 2021. We're covering end-of-the-year school events, Medfield Foundation's second episode of Community Connections featuring the Medfield Rail Trail, the Soles of Medfield 10K, the MEMO Gnome Hunt, and Medfield TV's production, A Discussion with Jonas Gray. The school year came to a close this month, and Medfield TV covered the in-person graduation held on June 6th and the rolling rally on June 5th. We also created virtual programs for Senior Recognition Night and the Evening of Excellence. Here are clips from those events.
Hello, I'm Robert Parga, principal of Medfield High School, and I want to welcome you to our Evening of Excellence Awards presentation. As we wrap up what has been a very challenging year for all of us, I want to congratulate our students for their excellent work. Despite the many adjustments we've needed to make throughout the year, our students stepped up and performed beautifully, and for that, I say congratulations. To honor your work, I'm pleased that we are able to have this virtual presentation.
Awards typically recognize students for excellence or achievement in academics, the arts, or service to the community. The purpose of these awards is to recognize students who have excelled, provide the next generation with a broader perspective of the world, and to attract high-caliber students who would likely find success at their college.
Hello and welcome to the Class of 2021 Virtual Senior Recognition Night. We are all very excited to honor so many members of this special class and to properly recognize their contributions, achievements, and accomplishments. However, what is most impressive about this class is not the individual successes, but the unifying spirit you have shown throughout the strangest school year any of us can recall. Your junior year was abruptly halted last March, and this year has been certainly unconventional, non-traditional, and probably felt a bit fragmented to many of you. Through it all, we watched your continued growth and perseverance. You supported each other, respected each other's differences, and came together when finally allowed to do so. Although this was not the senior year anyone envisioned, I can assure you it is a year we will always remember, and a year that has shown just how much you can achieve through times of adversity and uncertainty.
Congratulations again to all of our scholarship and award winners.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeff Marsden, your superintendent. Welcome to day 2 of Class of 2021's weekend. We had a great cruise last night and looking forward to a great party in the park after our rolling rally.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. The full videos are available on our watch page, medfield.tv/watch, or on our YouTube channel, Medfield TV. You can also listen to the Medfield TV podcast at medfield.tv/listen or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Medfield TV produced another episode of Medfield Foundation's show, Community Connections. This episode features the Friends of the Medfield Rail Trail.
Today I'm here with Christian Donner, representing the Friends of the Medfield Rail Trail. The Medfield Rail Trail is a proposed 1.3-mile-long section of the Bay Colony Rail Trail. It follows the corridor of the inactive Bay Colony Railroad, and the converted trail will run from Harding Street near Medfield Junction to the Dover line somewhere between Farm Street and Hunt Drive. Can you tell us a little bit more about what a rail trail itself is and why we might want one here in Medfield?
A rail trail is a converted railroad corridor that is no longer in use. And because, especially in the northeastern United States, there are so many unused corridors, or many are being converted to rail trails, have already been converted. There's still a lot more projects that are in progress or planned. That puts these corridors to good use that would otherwise just decay and overgrow. A lot of times people use it for dumping trash or that sort of activity that nobody really wants. So converting these corridors to trails and put them to use. People will be spending time there, and there is foot traffic, bike traffic, is a good way of keeping the land assets in a maintained condition and visually appealing. So that is one of the many reasons why we want rail trails.
What would you see as the benefit to the community of actually allowing a rail trail to be built in its community?
The Upper Charles Rail Trail, it connects the towns of Milford and Holliston and is planned to go into Sherborne and Ashland as well. An area where junk cars were parked to now what is a park and a real asset in the downtown area, and it is more developed. I think it helps raising property values, make communities more appealing. Also, it gets people outside. They can spend time outside, be active, and so there's a health benefit.
I understand that the town of Medfield recently signed the lease with the MBTA, and that we're waiting now on just the final signature from the MBTA that would allow us to actually kick off the project.
We were always committed to funding the project and not making this a burden on the taxpayers in Medfield. And that took two state grants of $100,000 each. And so we got the first one in 2018 and the second one last year. And with that and the money we had raised from private individual donors here, we have now about $280,000 in the bank, so to speak, and that will be sufficient to finish the what we call phase one of the trail, and that is so first the removal of the rails and ties, and then just putting a stone dust surface in, so grading rough gravel underneath, and then the stone dust surface on top.
You mentioned in terms of some of the fundraising that you got a state grant. Are there deadlines or timelines that we should be concerned with that you have to use the money by in order for us to be able to retain that grant?
There are such deadlines indeed. COVID worked a little bit in our favor because they were extended. Initially it looked for a while that we have to spend the first $100,000 by June of this year. That is not actually the case. We have until June of next year. And then the other one will expire at the end of this year. So that gives us enough time. And those grants being reimbursement grants, we have to actually have spent the money to be able to claim it back from the state, get reimbursed. And so it's not, we don't get the money up front. We have to have the work done already, or at least spend some of the money. But because the projects are broken down into smaller pieces, there is some flexibility in how we spend it, and we can juggle between the part that we have raised, which contributes to the state grants as a match. The towns are required to have a 20% match for these grants. We have that, and we can spend that first or hold it back, spend the grants first, whatever works.
You know, it's one of the things that Medfield Foundation was founded for, which was really to raise private money to support the public need and improve the quality of life in the town of Medfield. This seems to me to be just such that kind of a project that allows us to improve the quality of life and use private money to support this without having to increase taxes on the overall community. And if people are interested in donating, the best way to do that is?
The best way to do that is to go on the MFI website. And
so we're going to put up on screen now a link that will take you directly to the Medfield Foundation website, medfieldfoundation.org/give. And in your donation, you can earmark that to the rail trail.
The full episode is available on our watch page, medfield.tv/watch, or on our YouTube channel, Medfield TV. You can also listen on the Medfield TV podcast at medfield.tv/listen, or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. The Soles of Medfield Running Club hosted a 10K on June 13th. Here's more about the club and their 10K.
G'day Medfield, my name is John Trigg.
And I am Adam Graber.
And we are with the Soles of Medfield Running Club, Medfield's own premier running club. So we started as a group of neighbors down on Indian Hill after the Angel Run in 2015. We trained for a half marathon together. A bunch of us were doing our first half marathon. We had a great time. We called ourselves the Over the Indian Hill Running Club at the time. We had such a good time, we kept going. The group snowballed from 7 people to 15 to 30 and so forth. We picked up folks like Adam as we were going. The group got bigger, we started doing more runs, Saturday morning runs, 5:30 in the morning runs during the week, Thursday night track workouts, trail runs, social events. And we became an official running club in 2019. We incorporated as a non-profit under the Roadrunners Clubs of America. And since then, we've been going from strength to strength. We have, as I say, over about 120 members paying for the perplexing joys of being a member of the Soles of Medfield and running with us when they can.
Yes.
It's a non-pressure, low pressure environment. Run with us when you can. There's no need to turn up for every run. Whenever you can, and come and have a good time. You'll find somebody that you can run with, your pace, your ability, and just enjoy yourself. Reach out to us through solesofmedfield@gmail.com or Facebook. We have a great group. We have over 100 members in our running group, and we really emphasize community. Again, if you're looking to get either back into running or start a running journey or just looking for folks to run with, we hope that we can be your running club. So come join us.
And John, don't members get a discount if they sign up for the race now? Isn't there a discount they get for becoming a member?
Anybody who wants to join the Soles for the first time,
Yeah.
we will give you a discount as well. So there's that incentive to join us for a year and enjoy all things Soles of Medfield.
MEMO, the Medfield Employers and Merchants Organization, held a gnome hunt this month. In the window of Medfield businesses was a gnome for the public to take photos with for a chance to win their own Medfield gnome. Medfield TV joined in on the fun and interviewed many of the businesses along the way.
Today, Medfield TV is out on the prowl. We're searching for gnomes. Let's go! I'm at Holistic Wellness. We're in Village Cleaners, the Goddard School. Oh. Are you recording?
I recorded that.
No! Seventh Wave Brewery, the Chop Shop, Royal Pizza.
We love Medfield.
Hurley Testa, Jack Conway, Medfield Orthodontics, and Medfield Smile. Needham Bank, the Butterfly Tree Shop, Brothers Market, Butox.
We're gonna get some Botox while we're there. To look more gnome-like. Shut up. Some cheek filler.
William Ravis, Unique Homes.
I am one of them.
Levels, Rockland Trust, Be Charmed.
The Arranged Life.
West Street Vet, Medfield Dance Academy.
A&D Appliances.
The Hot Dog Wagon.
The Electric Time Company.
Allison Brown. Last gnome. Last one. We found them all.
Watch the full episode of What the Adults on medfield.tv/watch or on our YouTube page, Medfield TV. Or listen on medfield.tv/listen, as well as on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Now we have a short segment of a new episode of Medfield TV's show, A Discussion With. Brett Poirier, Medfield TV's executive director, interviews Jonas Gray, Medfield resident and Super Bowl champion.
Hello and welcome to A Discussion With. I'm Brett Poirier, and today's guest is someone you're all going to recognize, especially if you're a familiar here in New England. It is Super Bowl champion Jonas Gray. Thank you so much for coming into the studio today. You're a new resident here in Medfield, and welcome to the community.
Thanks for having me, Brett. Appreciate it.
It was town meeting night. You came here and happened to bump into Audrey, and you're looking for space. You're doing some workouts with people.
Yes, yeah. Part of one of the things that is a big part of my brand is the health and wellness. Health and wellness piece, and then also, doing that at a community-based point. Always giving back to the community by getting like-minded people together to just work out. Especially with everything that happened with the pandemic and everyone gaining that COVID-20. Everybody wants to work out and get in great shape now that things are opening back up and it's beach season. One of the first things that I'm going to be doing is actually just a 30-minute circuit training. I'm actually going to be doing it at the State House, thanks to you. Gave me that great idea to do it at State Hospital. A lot of green grass. So what we're going to do there is just kind of combine a holistic approach to a circuit training. Try to do a little bit of meditation, a little bit of yoga, but also a little bit of running, agility, a little bit of football stuff as well, but it's for any and all athlete levels, 13 and up. So I'm gonna be doing 2 sessions tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. The first session is gonna be at 6 a.m. So it's early rise and grind is what I'm calling it. So you get up, rise and grind for 30 minutes between 6 to 6:30, just $50. And then again, it's 6:45 to 7:15 is our second session.
Let's talk actually about your past and how you got to the seat you're sitting in right now. Is because I think you have a really interesting journey, and you have one that I think a lot of kids can actually learn from. Is you used football to gain an education and to really get a foothold in life. And tell me about, you're going to Notre Dame and making your way to that team and kind of your experience from there.
I mean, my mom always stressed the importance of education to us. So one of the reasons why I chose Notre Dame was, of course, it was, had great education, but I went on my official visit to visit the school, and my mother just loved it. And that was enough for me to make her happy. So I ended up going to the school, and I immediately, one thing that you have to do is immerse yourself in the culture of any place you go to. So, I always wanted to compete in the classroom as much as I competed off the field. I wanted to be known as someone that, took that education part of it very serious. So, I was able to graduate in 3.5 years from the University of Notre Dame and got a couple degrees from there. And, I always knew right away if I didn't have that opportunity to play in the NFL, that I had a great education to fall back on.
Obviously, we'll talk about it now. You're wearing the big ring and everything. I'm sure everyone can see the bling on TV at this point.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the New England Patriots. I think people talk about do your job and all the Patriot way and all that. What is that experience really like when you walk into the Gillette Stadium? Like, what is that experience like?
It was one of those things where being in that environment and being in such a competitive environment where every day you had to bring your best. The amount of energy that you just disperse every single day having to give your best, it brings the best out of you, but it takes a lot out of you as well. So it was, a lot of pressure, but at the same time, you really, because of the players you were playing with, especially so many great players like Tom and Gronk, it made you level up. You didn't have a choice. And so that's why I always tell people, the Patriot way is, it's so much more than just like, 16-week season or, 17-week season now. It's the off season. It's, training camp, when you get to practice against all these different teams. And, Bill was the first one to even bring that about, where you go and practice in training camp against another franchise. And so you get all these different opportunities to be put in competitive situations. And so you learn a lot quick about yourself, and you learn a lot about, your abilities and what you can do and how, really what you can, how far you can take it. That's the one thing. Sometimes when you go to different organizations, sometimes it feels like a finish line. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this is where we're probably going to end up. To be with the team where there felt like there was no finish line and that anybody could play, that anybody had an opportunity to win and get on the team and have a big effect on the team was huge.
View full videos on medfield.tv/watch or on our YouTube page, Medfield TV, or listen in podcast form on medfield.tv/listen, as well as on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. To stay up to date with all things Medfield, be sure to like Medfield TV on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram @Medfield TV. Lastly, don't forget to tune into our cable stations, channels 8, 12, and 22 on Comcast, and channels 36, 45, and 47 on Verizon. That's it for the June 2021 episode. See you next month for another episode of Mupdates, your monthly Medfield updates.